we're back with On the Record with Kevin and
with Tiffany and Kevin. You keep trying to put yourself first.
Well, you keep cutting me off from time to time.
See,
all right.
Watch. You know what? When a whole bunch of people are coming at you for your toxic masculinity,
you're funny.
Don't call me to defend you.
All right, this is all playful. But we talked about we ended the last segment, surprise, no lives matter, right? Because not oftentimes, all of the time, right? There's technology, there's all this stuff that could reduce or even eliminate most things that most of these man-made things that are happening. They simply don't happen because of profit.
We may not have solutions, but we definitely have interventions for a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in healthcare. We have interventions, yet those interventions are going to interrupt. They will be disruptors to the profit system. So the profiteers, they're not trying to hear that.
Yeah, that is. And so
the profiteers are going to do everything they can to drag their feet or to just simply stall whatever is happening. They will go against it, put together lobby groups, lobbyists buy this group, that group, etc.
Yeah.
And folks that you think that should be supporting you are not. I mean, look at us. We're looking at this right now. Who's showing up there? EPA's there. Who are they protecting? Because it's not these. It's not the people of Palestine.
But think about this, right, Tiffany? So the group that Norfolk belongs to, they belong to a railroad group. Everyone has their own special group, right? That particular group gave $6 million to political campaigns and parties, right, to stop the implementation of those electronic trains.
You mean electronic braking system?
Yeah, they stopped that. Right? It's called the American Association of Railroads. I got it right. So the American Association of Railroads gave $6 million, a little bit over $6 million, to the political parties, across everyone, right?
And see, that's what happens. That's the thing I'm saying. And people have to be in the party, whatever party they're choosing, but you have to know what it is, what the outcome is that you want for your community, because there are factions that are there giving money to both sides. Their goal is always the same, to perpetuate whatever it is that they're doing. It is always related to money and continuing the flow of money in their direction.
And we're not against money. We're not against capitalism.
We're not against capitalism. We are for capitalism. We are against profiteers. There's a difference between profiteers and capitalists. Yeah. Profiteers are doing exactly what you see right over here in Palestine. Remember
on this week's, this show will be on next Thursday, but remember I said that what they're going to do is they're going to throw race out, right? They're going to go, hey, race, right? And your people from The View, right, threw out race and said the people in Palestine, Ohio, the people, I don't like The View most of the time, the people, so Joy Behar, is that the lady's name, the comedian? She threw out that the people of Palestine, Ohio brought this on themselves. Can you believe that?
No, they didn't bring it on themselves.
Because they voted because they vote Republican.
And see, this,
which is crap.
Whenever I look at places like Palestine and Jackson, Mississippi, two different issues. One is water, one is
well, they're all water now.
Yeah, one is train derailment. This is about shortcuts.
Yep.
This is about profiteers and making the choice that's going to make them more money in the end and rolling the dice on people's lives.
Yep.
That's what this is. These groups should be uniting against what's happening systemically across all of these different business
But why do you think that doesn't happen, Tiffany?
Because of these red herring arguments that highlight race. And I'm not saying there's not racist aspects. There are racist aspects to all kinds of stuff. But the real problem here is the profiteers. Is people making decisions so they can make some extra money this quarter.
Yeah. And
putting lives on the line to do that.
And here are the facts, right? So what Norfolk Southern did was they did share buybacks. They did these $1 million bonuses to the executives.
Oh yeah,
right. They did huge amounts of things back to those individuals because that is their objective. That is the nature. That is the objective. That is the financial fiduciary responsibility of the corporation. It is to the shareholders. It is not to us.
It's not to us.
It simply isn't.
Now, I don't know who the EPA is responsible to,
Well,
but
the
it don't
EPA
really
is
sound like it's the people.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just say the EPA is bought by the railroad, the American Association of Railroads. They are, because that's who they're giving money. They're giving money to the politicians. Then the politicians put these people in there. So we have people who we have not elected who are having this huge impact on our day-to-day lives. Huge, unbelievable impact.
Yeah.
Right. And so we always talk about
So
this.
yeah,
right?
that's why regular people like us get pissed off, because here you are going about your day-to-day life. A train derailment happens in your community, and then you get to find out about the underbelly of society, which is the real underbelly of society. It's not poor people, as we have been led to believe. It's not poor people. The real underbelly of society is big business taking advantage of the little guy. That's what the real underbelly is here.
Yeah, and so
being allowed to do so. If you went out and did some of the stuff we've seen big business do, you'd be in a whole lot of trouble. Go out and get all your neighbors addicted to drugs. Keep selling it to them, then double down on it, sell them some more of the stuff. Right, and see if you go to jail. But the opioid crisis, which was put together, which came straight out of pharma, we didn't
out of
we
bad
don't-
pharma.
out of bad pharma, because there's great pharma out there, but there's bad pharma. This was a terrible idea, instituted and perpetuated by nefarious
who were
profiteers.
profiteering.
And yet we don't see any of those people in jail.
No, they're not going to be in jail. That's crazy.
But your cousin Mickey will be in jail for selling meth.
And see, here's the deal, though, right? Is that if someone tells me that I am a lefty for seeing these facts,
Your cousin Mike will be in jail for selling Oxycontin.
you are not very bright, right? Because you and I can't do that as people. We can't do what these individuals are doing. These are facts. It doesn't matter who's telling you it. It's simply facts.
Like,
these
really,
are the facts.
We have got to open our eyes to the profiteers. Look at the profiteers, because the thing about it is that what's difficult for us as regular folks is that we have always been taught to be black and white. You are either right or wrong. You like somebody, you don't like somebody. We're not used to what profiteers do. They come smile in your face, while not telling you that your kidneys are declining. Right?
Yeah.
They're looking you in the face, telling you, I'm just, I've gotten a kidney transplant and I'm a nurse and I just love Jesus, the Lord, you, everybody. Meanwhile, they know these same people. Let me tell you my powerful story. Meanwhile, they know doggone well that there are SGLT2Is. They've known for 10 years. Hadn't heard them mention it, because they're getting paid, honey.
So let me give a quote from a friend of mine, right? Good friend of mine. He spell checks a lot of my stuff because my spelling is off. His is better than mine. And he always says this, right? He says, if the profit margins are large enough, if the profits are large enough, then, and if I don't have to bear the downside of the risk, it's acceptable. It's an acceptable risk. If the profit is large enough and I personally, or the person making the decision, doesn't have to suffer the loss, then it is acceptable based on the probability of it occurring.
And we're just not used to.
We're not used to the ordinary. Let's walk through what I actually said there. So I'm making a decision that's not going to impact my life personally in any type of way. Right? And I know that I'm going to make a profit out of it. And I know that if there is an issue, I can resolve it at a low cost and still not impact my profit.
And that is why we say that our lives are dispensable to them. Our lives are dispensable to them. They're A-OK as long as they get the profit that they're looking for.
All our listeners out there, don't take the bait of, hey, race. Hey, it's a race issue.
You follow that money trail.
Yeah.
And don't take the smile. Don't take that bull. Because we've taken it long enough, and look at where we're at. We have poor health care. We got things like these train derailments happening. Over 800 train derailments.
That is going to be a huge recovery. They're never going to recover from that. I don't think. I wouldn't go to that city.
The community is going to take a long time for the community, just the wildlife, for all of it to be cleaned up.
Yeah. And I know some of our favorite...
And it's never going to be the same.
And I know some of our favorite Republican and Democratic pundits are out there saying, no, it's going to be okay. If you look in the faces of these researchers, listen to the language that the researchers say. Remember on ABC, that one researcher from Johns Hopkins?
Go look at the people that don't have opinion. When they asked him,
they said, would you go back to this city? He said, I wouldn't go back to this city at any time. That was his thing.
What I found interesting is that these executives, are sitting there taking a drink of the water. Oh, take a sip. This water is safe to drink. You're sitting there looking at them going, Nothing about you seems sincere. You already lied to these people.
When they bring the president into that, to that small city in that area, when they bring him there, then you'll know the chemical levels are down low enough to bring somebody back in when they bring the president in, because he has all of those devices and everything that measure the air and everything. Then you'll know that it's safe. But in the meantime, they're telling the citizens of Palestine, Ohio, it's okay. It's okay.
Y'all gonna be fine.
So just remember,
we are here till the end. Whenever you hear, we're in it. We're just all in it together. From the people that are actually profiting. I guess I'm jaded because I sat here. I've been bamboozled. I was bamboozled for years by the medical industry professionals there who say the same thing, and all they're doing is racking up more dollars for themselves.
So let's end it. We'll go into that in the next. Let's end this with the quote by Malcolm X. It's not that they're smarter than us; they're just better organized than we are.
Yep. But we're getting there. And
you've been listening to On the Record with Kevin and Tiffany on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, home of conservative talk radio.
Anti-Profiteers.